Hello, Mara DeBono here. The common problem I see is that a lot of us don't have a really clear distinction, a really clear feeling of using the hip joint separate from our pelvis. So a lot of us tend to use that as one piece, and we get into trouble when we ride if we do that. So you have to ride well and to ride in balance and elegantly, you have to be able to use your lower back, your pelvis, and your hips in very discrete ways, okay? Very specific ways. So an easy little exercise to do is to think you're stubbing out a cigarette. Not that I want any of you to smoke, but that movement that people used to do years ago, they would stub out a cigarette with their big toe, right? So think of doing that in two different ways. So one way is to move your whole pelvis, right? And you can have your hand on your pelvis to encourage that, right? So see how I'm moving my whole pelvis. So my leg is coming along for the ride. Or I can keep my pelvis relatively still and move just the leg in the hip joint. Now that sounds simple, but you'd be surprised at how many people are not clear about those differences when they're riding. And what adds to the confusion is so much of the time we're told something about your hip and people think the hip is up here somewhere. I get all kinds of crazy places when I ask people to point to their hips. But the hip joint itself is low down as well, deep inside the body. And you can think of the crease we have here, it is the front of the hip joint. So try to get a really good image of that, and now move just the leg from the hip joint, and then alternate with moving the whole pelvis. And again, feel free to use your hands to help. And now can you move your pelvis one way and your leg the other? Small movements. And again, we want our brain to feel, to experience the difference, so that then you can control your body, you can have this good coordination of your movement when you're riding. Okay? Hope you enjoyed that little tip, and thank you for joining me, and I will see you at the next video. Bye for now.